We got two in the car.
The voice you just heard belongs to a 16-year-old student on his lunch break. Police were not looking for him. They had come to this street with an arrest warrant for someone else. 3 official cameras captured pieces of the next 5 minutes. Together, they show how a lunch trip became a mistaken detention and why the encounter later moved into federal court. On May the 13th, 2025, South Portland detectives and SWAT members, assisted by Portland officers, went to Orkney Street to arrest 19-year-old Miles Hibbard and search his home in a burglary investigation. Police said Hibbard was known to associate with people who carried and used firearms during crimes and that officers had reason to believe ammunition might be in the home. That is the context for the long guns. Near the house, officers saw a teenager leave a blue car and walk toward the property. They said he closely resembled the driver's license photo of the person named in the warrant.
We got two in the car.
I'm gonna go on this side so I can get a better angle.
You can run with him if you want.
Yeah.
Did that next one down there?
Yeah. This blue car, but yeah, it's the next house.
Dude, hold on, we're gonna explain everything.
I don't love this.
Got anything on you?
No, sir, just my AirPods.
Okay. Alright. That blue car?
Yeah.
Is that yours?
No.
You live here?
No, I live next to. Yeah.
What's that?
I go to school here.
Here?
Yeah.
You know whose car that is?
Yeah.
Whose car is it?
My friend.
Who?
My friend. Yeah.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You want some down over there? Just to contact her? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna walk you over the curb.
But
The teenager had now told officers he attended the nearby high school. Officers were also discussing that the target was one house farther away. The city says it took less than 2 minutes to determine that this student was not the person named in the warrant. But the handcuffs, questions, and detention didn't end at the exact moment of that realization. What happened between the mistake and the release would later become the central dispute in federal court.
Alex.
To
what
our
are you
right?
doing over there?
Who's watching us?
No. Like them.
Oh,
Our guys.
Yeah.
you're saying. What's the plan?
we're gonna try to sit. We're gonna take 3 of you, 1, 2, and I'll take one of my guys. We're gonna go up to the house. At least try to make contact at the house. These guys can kind of handle the car for a second, just make sure he's not in it. We'll bypass him and let's go up to the door because that's the target house.
That one over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the white car in front of it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll leave you with Verb and Terrio, and I'll take 2 other Portland and Gray up to the house. Yeah, just to make sure he's not in there. Miles, yeah.
You guys got a design?
What do we do though?
Did you do anything?
Get your school ID.
I got my license. Did you do anything though?
And you guys, Miles. Take your hood off.
Miles? That's not Miles. No.
Yeah, we know. We're talking to him too.
Miles? No, it's not Miles.
Okay.
We all go over.
Okay. Okay. You get your ID on you, bud?
My license?
Yeah, we got it.
I want to get out the car.
No, you guys should sit right.
Yeah, I do tomorrow. Why do you guys make the ID?
What's that? Oh, you guys are good.
You good?
Yep. Down here. We're gonna move the cars out of the way. You guys all set, right? What's that?
I come out here.
Are you guys staying here?
Nah, we're trying to get up.
Yeah, we're gonna move our car.
I can come out there.
Oh yeah, you're good.
These 3 files are official, but they do not show everything. The city released them in August after public records requests and a privacy review with the juveniles' families. The 2 body cameras belonged to Portland officers. The dash camera came from the South Portland lead vehicle. WGME later quoted a city spokesperson who said the 2 South Portland officers in that vehicle were wearing body cameras but didn't turn them on for the initial encounter. The spokesperson called that a mistake and said the chief addressed it internally. Police Chief Dan Ahern said the officers acted appropriately and lawfully based on the information they had. He also said he felt for the innocent young people caught in the operation, and that the man named in the warrant was arrested later that day. The family saw the detention differently. In January 2026, the students' parents filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against both cities, the chief, and several officers. Their complaint alleges that police violated the students' 4th and 14th Amendment rights, especially by continuing the detention after realizing they had the wrong person. A civil complaint contains allegations, not a court finding. As of this production review on July 10, 2026, the case was still listed as active, and no final public ruling on liability was located. The footage leaves one difficult question. No, this student was not the man named in the warrant. What should have happened next? Share your view in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to UJD Criminal Stories for more evidence-led cases.